Department's spokesperson, Steve Mabona. Steve, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, the incident, we understand it happened last year around June. How did it come about?
Look, we were actually alerted by the school because they had a training of learners on safety by the Tshwane Metro. And during that process, the learners, because are so inquisitive, they were probing in terms of the questioning because they were teaching them on safety and well-being in the schooling environment. And some of the learners then indicated that, look, some of the things that you are teaching us about, they did occur to some of our, fellow learners. And about 23 of those learners then came forward to say, yes, this, transpired in June. There's an allegation that they did, confide to some of the teachers and nothing transpired. So our investigation will also look into that, and we've assured the parents that we'll check on what transpired when this incident occurred, and the learners, informed or confided to the educators and nothing transpired. So there's now, this has been sparked again by another incident which occurred quite recently, where then the parents decided to say, let them open a case, which has been opened now. Police are investigating, but then they need to interact with the principal so that they can continue with those that have been identified, 23 of them.
It's very sad, Stephen, because this shows that this, would not have come out had it not been of that particular workshop by the Metro Police. So this, of course, talks to the environment perhaps that our learners find themselves in. They're not able to sort of tell of what happens on them.
Quite sad, because when we experienced some of these incidents, it was very clear when we interacted with the principals, all of them, where MEC was very blunt to say we need to have an educator in all the schools whom learners will be comfortable. It doesn't have to be an educator that is specializes on life orientation or any other thing, but the one that has been identified as an educator that learners can go easily to confide, so that we can have that educator as a liaison, between ourselves and the district, so that we can then be in a position to intervene when such cases are reported.
Yeah.
So we'll also go back there and check on what is it that we can assist the school to.
But I think what is even more understanding, you would tell me if these reports are true or not, because we understand that some learners had alerted the teachers about this particular incident, but nothing was done.
Yes, that will form part of our investigation. Remember, we have launched an internal investigation which will comprise of the educator that has been accused of these allegations, and will also then extend that to all those other allegations, because that was raised by the parents. We have assured them that we will investigate that. We're not going to leave anything unattended to. Any, complaint that is put on our table, we have assured them that we're going to investigate, because their concern was that they don't want that educator at the school, and we then follow the process, and we can assure them that we have removed the teacher from the school. And
has he been given his suspension letter? Because when we came on air at 3, that had not happened.
Look, the letter is ready. We are interacting with him. But it's very clear he's not supposed to be going to the school, because the letter is very clear on what is it that he must do. He's not going home. He must be at the district office where he will be working, because we have taken a decision as the department that we're not going to be paying anyone who's at home. People need to work for this money, so they need to be at the district, unless if one will jeopardize our case, then it's then that we decide to send them home. But if they're not going to do that, then they must come and work for this money.
But we understand that this is a fairly new teacher. He's only been with the Department of Education for a few months.
Yeah, it's quite sad, because he's been an SGB teacher since 2017. He joined us in 2017, and he was actually only confirmed, ironically, now in January as our teacher, the GDE post. It's quite sad that we find ourselves here, but we need to follow due process. we need to give him a hearing, which will go parallel to the police. I mean, we don't have to wait for the police to finalize their case. We'll also, go ahead with our case because we do have statements from learners. So that will give us a case. On balance of probabilities, we can then, continue with our case.
But what happens in the meantime with the learners? Surely they are traumatized by this, if it did happen.
Definitely. With the effect of today, we have, sent our psychosocial unit. They have been there since this morning. They will continue to be there, interact with the parents because we need necessary, consent from the parents. We cannot just interact with the learners, when, we don't have permission from parents. So we're going to do that and make sure that any interaction, parents know about it. But we've assured them that the other thing that we need not to do is not to interfere with the case. We have learned from the AB Kuma case. We've warned parents they must not, coach their, children. They must not interfere with the police. Police will then be given some space to do their work because we don't want issues that they will be raised at a later stage in the court of law that there was comedy of errors because of intervention from our educators, from our officials and all those.
All right, I suppose we'll leave it at that and wait for the investigations to unfold. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
All right, many thanks there to Steve Mabona, is Gauteng Education Department's spokesperson, talking to us about that incident. We stay here in Gauteng.